What would you do if someone told you you're just 10 decisions away from completely transforming your financial life this year? Do you really believe you were born to survive, pay bills, and live limited by fear? The truth is harsh but powerful. You're not broke because of a lack of money. You're broke because of a lack of mindset. And if you don't understand that today, you'll repeat the same cycle of scarcity tomorrow, next month, and for the next 10 years. This isn't just another video. It's a mental war manual to break the invisible chains that keep you stuck. I'm going to give you 11 changes that rich people apply without negotiating with themselves, and that you can start applying today. So subscribe now, hit like, and comment which of these changes you're going to implement today. Share this video with someone who needs to wake up before it's too late. And remember, what you don't change consciously will silently condemn you. Why are there people who, even starting from zero, end up living in abundance, while others sink deeper into scarcity, even though they work twice as hard? It all starts in the least visible but most powerful place, your mindset. Poverty isn't simply lacking money, it's a deadly combination of unproductiveness, limiting beliefs, and lack of vision. It's like living in a house with the windows shut, believing there's no sun outside just because you can't see it. The poor in mindset wait for the world to rescue them. They look for blame, live as victims, blame the government, their parents, or luck. But I'm going to tell you something that may hurt. Real freedom begins when you stop blaming and decide to take full control of your life. Do you truly want to prosper? Then leave the role of victim and step into the role of protagonist. If you want to be rich, you have to declare war on your old programming. You must break with those phrases passed down through generations. Money doesn't buy happiness. Better poor but honest. We weren't born for that. This isn't about motivation. It's about reprogramming. The difference between the one who builds an empire and the one who lives trapped in debt isn't their origin, it's their mindset. Your task today is simple. Examine your internal dialogue. Listen to what you say to yourself when you talk about money, success, and possibilities. If the language you use is filled with fear, scarcity, or resignation, you're building a mental prison with your own words. Here's the first practical step. Write down 5 limiting beliefs you've heard about money since childhood, and replace them with 5 declarations of power. Repeat them every day like your life depends on it, because it does. Do you know the brutal difference between the one who grows and the one who stays stuck? It's not talent, it's not luck, and it's definitely not salary. The real difference is that while one is feeding their mind, the other is entertaining themselves to death. The rich have an insatiable hunger to learn. They read books like their secret manuals to build their empire. They listen to podcasts like every word could open a new door. They consume educational content even while working out, cooking, or driving. And the unproductive, they devour series, soap operas, and TikToks like their future depends on it. They're easy, informed about everything except themselves. They know what happened in the last episode of the show, but have no idea what to do with their life in the next 6 months. The prosperous mind understands something the scarcity mind rejects. Knowledge is not a luxury, it's an investment. And not just any investment, it's the most profitable of all. Want a practical step? Swap 1 hour a day of entertainment for 1 hour of learning. Just that. 1 book a month, 1 podcast a day, 1 lecture each week. Do it for 90 days and I guarantee you won't be the same person. I don't say that as a metaphor, it's biology. Your brain will literally change. Stop feeding the part of you that wants distraction. Start nourishing the part that wants direction. Some build empires while others just write endless lists of dreams they never fulfill, because some act and others wait for the perfect moment. The doer doesn't need to feel motivated. He acts when it's cold, when he's sleepy, when he's in pain, because he understands something the procrastinator hasn't discovered. If you wait until you feel ready, success will bury you with the shovel of excuses. The unproductive live in a toxic relationship with procrastination. They say, I'll start tomorrow. Today's not a good day, when I have more time. But that tomorrow never comes, because it's not about time, it's about identity. And here's a hard truth. Procrastination isn't just a bad habit. It's a chemical and physiological addiction. Every time you postpone something, your brain releases cheap dopamine. It's artificial pleasure that rewards you for avoiding what you really need to face. The rich understand this, and that's why they train themselves to act even when they don't feel like it. They have something the procrastinator never develops: self-mastery. Want to eliminate procrastination from your life? Do this today. Make a list of 3 things you've been putting off for weeks. No more, just 3, and do the first one today. Doesn't matter if it's uncomfortable. Doesn't matter if you're not ready. Do it. Your personal confidence is built in those moments when you do what you said you'd do, even when you don't want to. They taught you that saving was the key to financial security. Then they sold you a lie disguised as prudence. The system programmed you to believe that stuffing money under your mattress or keeping it in a savings account was the path to freedom. But the brutal reality is this: saving without investing is just a slow way to get poorer. While you're saving pennies just in case, the rich are making their money work for them. They invest in businesses, in assets, in knowledge, because they understand that stagnant money loses value. Time erodes it. And you know what else? The culture of extreme saving often stems from fear, not strategy. It's the just-in-case mindset. The what if, the better safe than sorry. But those who want prosperity can't live governed by fear. They have to make decisions from vision, not protection. Of course, I'm not telling you to be irresponsible. I'm telling you to be strategic. Don't hoard what you should be multiplying. Don't protect what you should be putting to work. Practical step: define a fixed percentage of your monthly income to invest. Doesn't matter if it's small. What matters is starting, because it's not about quantity. It's about mindset. Many never prosper even though they work hard, because they take no risks and no responsibility. And without those 2 things, there's no possible wealth. The rich don't just take risks with investments. They take emotional, relational, and above all, mental risks, because they understand that growth lives. On the other side of fear, the unproductive seek comfort. The prosperous seek challenge. And here's something deeper. The rich take full responsibility for their life. They don't leave their destiny to a partner, a boss, the government, not even to God. They say, if this doesn't change, I will change. It period. Meanwhile, those who live in scarcity say, I have no choice. It doesn't depend on me. That's just how life is. But let me tell you something. That mindset is the safest prison in the world, and it has a key, but only from the inside. The rich don't just manage their money, they manage their family, their time, their energy. They govern their environment. They don't wait to be governed. Practical step: make a list today of all the areas in your life where you're waiting for something or someone else to change for you. And next to it, write what you could do today to take control of each one. It can be small, but do it, because the muscle of responsibility is trained through action, not intention. Some people see opportunity where others only see problems. The difference is in how they think. The rich don't stop at the first answer. They practice what's called second-level thinking. What does that mean? It means they don't react automatically. They don't judge a situation just by how it looks. They ask, what's behind this? What would happen if I take this step? What else could this mean? The scarcity mindset sees a headline and reacts. The prosperous one analyzes. The unproductive hears a no and gives up. The doer asks, why not? And looks for an alternative route. Second-level thinking is like going from watching the movie to having access to the script. It lets you anticipate, plan, and make smarter, less emotional decisions. And note, this isn't something you're born with. It's a skill you train. It's about teaching your mind to question the superficial and dig into the essential practical step. Every time you face a decision this week, ask yourself 3 questions. What am I assuming here without proof? What could happen if I do this, and if I don't? 3. What would a prosperous person do in this exact situation? Thinking like this doesn't just give you an advantage. It gives you vision, and those who have vision build the future. Ever noticed that some products cost 10 times more, and people still line up to buy them? It's not because of what they are, it's because of what they represent. A Ferrari isn't valuable just for its engine. A Rolex isn't bought just to tell time. The real value lies in the story they tell, the meaning they project. And here's the code the rich already cracked. People don't buy things, they buy symbols, they buy identity, they buy transformation. The scarcity mindset looks at a product and says, too expensive. The wealth mindset asks, what does this represent? What does it communicate? How does it position me? And this isn't just about selling products, it applies to your life. If you don't know how to tell your story, no one will value your process. If you don't know how to express your purpose, the world will label you as just another one. The rich build stories, narratives. They don't. Present themselves as victims of the past, but as heroes of the present. Practical step? Write your story as if you were the main character in a transformation movie. Give it a title. Describe the challenges you've overcome, the lessons you've learned, and what your mission is from now on. This isn't fantasy, it's a declaration of identity. Because when you believe your story, others will too. And that, my friend, sells. Have you ever said, "That person just got lucky"? Then you're sabotaging yourself without even realizing it. Luck is the favorite excuse of those who don't understand the process. The rich don't wait for a lucky break. They create results. How? With method, consistency, and direction. Here's the truth. What you call luck is often just preparation meeting opportunity. It's someone who got up earlier, studied more, failed more times, and endured when others gave up. You know what the unproductive have? Wishes. And the prosperous? Systems. While one says, "I hope things work out," the other says, "These are my goals, this is my routine, this is my schedule." Method means repeating what works, improving what doesn't, and eliminating what gets in the way. It means treating your growth as a serious project, not a casual experiment. Practical step. Define today a non-negotiable minimum routine, a series of daily actions you will execute no matter your mood, the weather, or the excuse of the day. It could be writing for 10 minutes, reading for 15, reaching out to 3 clients, working out for 30, but it must be sacred, because when you repeat the right thing long enough, results become inevitable. Do you know one of the most expensive mistakes you can make in life? Believing you already know enough. True wealth isn't measured just in zeros in the bank, but in how willing you are to keep learning, even when you're already winning. The truly rich don't boast about what they know. They ask questions. They listen. They surround themselves with smarter people. They have something many never develop: intellectual humility. The unproductive, on the other hand, defend themselves with phrases like, "I already knew that. I could do that too if I had what you have." That doesn't work for everyone. And with that attitude, they close the doors to growth with their own hands. Learning requires humility. It means recognizing there's always a next level. And more than that, teaching is one of the most powerful ways to solidify what you know. Because when you teach, you force yourself to understand, simplify, and communicate clearly. The rich don't hoard knowledge. They share it because they understand that giving value multiplies value. Practical step? Do 2 things this week. Find someone you can learn something new from and ask them 3 key questions. Find someone who can benefit from what you already know and teach them something practical. No matter your level, you can always be a student and a teacher at the same time. And that, my friend, is an abundance mindset. Victimhood is the slowest and deadliest poison that exists. It takes away your strength, your vision, your hope, and worst of all, it makes you believe you can't change your reality. Listen to this. Being a victim of an accident, betrayal, or injustice is something that can happen to anyone, but continuing to live as a victim is a choice. The rich don't deny their wounds. They transform them. They don't dwell on the story of what happened to them. They focus on what they're going to build with it. While the scarcity-minded say, "Look what happened to me," the prosperous say, "Look what I did with what happened to me." You have 2 options. Stay trapped in the supporting role of a Kisei, sad story, or rise as the main character of a story of conquest. And no, it's not easy, but it is simple. The first step is to stop looking for someone to blame and start looking for solutions. The second is to stop waiting for a savior and become the savior of your own story. Practical step? Write a letter today addressed to yourself from the future, telling how you overcame everything that hurts you today. Read it every morning, not as fantasy, but as a commitment, because you weren't born to survive. You were born to lead your life. Have you ever said, "I don't have time"? Then you've fallen into one of the most convenient lies of unproductiveness. The truth is that we all have the same 24 hours. The difference isn't in how much time you have, but in what you do with it. And here's the big distinction. The rich don't live in a constant rush. They design their schedule. Prioritizing is their superpower. The unproductive are always putting out fires, always busy, always late. They're slaves to the urgent and never get to the important. They're available to everyone, except their own dreams. The prosperous, on the other hand, protect their time like a treasure. They don't respond immediately to everything, don't accept every meeting, don't say yes out of obligation. They have a mission, and their calendar reflects that. And there's something even more powerful. The rich understand that time isn't just hours, it's energy, it's focus, it's purpose. Practical step: this week, schedule your priorities before the world fills your time with distractions. Block out time for yourself, your project, your mind, your body, and once it's on your calendar, treat it like a meeting with your destiny, because every minute you give away without purpose is wealth you're letting slip through your fingers. And just by being here, you've already distinguished yourself from millions who don't even dare to question their reality. But listen closely. Watching this video won't change your life. Acting on it will. I've shown you 11 changes that can break you out of the cycle of scarcity and launch you into the game of abundance. These aren't theories. They're principles the rich apply every day. No excuses, no breaks, no fear. Now it's your turn. Don't try to do everything at once. Pick one, apply it with fire, with focus, with determination, and when that one becomes part of who you are, take on the next, and then the next, until one day you wake up in a life you used to only imagine. And I challenge you, come back to this video in 6 months. See what you applied, how your mindset, income, and decisions have changed. And if it truly helped you, share it with someone who also deserves to wake up. Leave your comment now. Which of these 11 changes will you apply first? Like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Because we're not here to entertain, we're here to transform. Remember, scarcity is optional. Prosperity is a matter of decision. See you in the next video.